Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. You know, I think when you don't celebrate the holidays, you really see how many of our people, and just people in general, all around you that celebrate. Right now, there's a bunch of people setting off fireworks. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, I really do feel, you know how it says that it's a very lonely walk. This is when you feel it. I don't celebrate, but everybody surrounding me does, you know? And it makes me realize how spread apart we all are, you know, where, it's not more of us doing our thing than these folks. I always say there are people, but they have a Gentile mind, you know? This is when you really see it. So, we're going to look at something I've been noticing on TikTok. It's a lot of videos about FBA, and there's a lot of them that are anti FBA. So, I don't know if any of you are aware of these videos, but I'm going to show you a few of them tonight. Um, and it's a variety of different people that are going to talk about FBA. Now, I know it's about delineating, and I do agree with that. I think there should be distinction between us and the others, you know, but I'll let you judge for yourself. I'm going to share my screen and then we'll get started. Okay. Give me a one if you can see my screen. Thank you. Okay. All right.
Before we get started today, I want to make it perfectly clear. At no point in time is the FBA ever allowed on any of my social media. Don't come here. Until y'all change y'all views and stop with that bigoted rhetoric that anybody who is not of so many years of American lineage does not count as a Black person or American, you're not allowed here. You're not allowed on none of my social media. If you put disrespect in my comments, 10 times out of 10, you probably will get it right back. Again, at no point in time is the FBA ever allowed on my page. Y'all are a Black version of the Klan. The only difference between y'all and the Klan is the Klan wear white sheets. If you were able, if you don't wear them already, your sheets would be black. The way y'all talk to the rest of us in the Black diaspora that you don't deem as Black American or that you don't deem as Black, period, is dishonorable, disrespectful, and disgusting. The rhetoric, the claims that y'all make trying to invalidate the rest of our Blackness is exactly why I don't want nothing to do with y'all. Don't ever come to none of my pages, or you will get talked to the same way you try to talk to us. Fair is fair.
To see Black people get on this app and say that they're staying out of this one, it hurts my heart. Y'all are doing the same thing that they do to us. Whenever one of our own is gunned down in the street, and all those people jump on the internet and come up with all these excuses as to why it should have happened, you're doing the same thing. To only get active and step in when it affects us, that's white supremacy. You're adopting their playbook right now. Our Black revolutionary leaders would be ashamed of you. They would be ashamed. Not to mention the Black immigrants that are watching y'all say this shit on the internet. The Afro-Latinos, the Haitians, the Africans, those people are affected too. So yeah, I hope the internet clicks were worth it. I hope you got the likes that you wanted. And I hope you got your little moment.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about the rise of like the FBA movement slash the anti-Black immigrant sentiment that I've seen lately on social media. Now I'm not too sure where this came from, but me personally, I first encountered this maybe back in like 2023, I believe, on Twitter. So it was a Twitter space, and this Twitter space was about how immigrants are essentially affecting Black Americans and how they are maybe taking away certain opportunities from Black Americans. This wasn't focused on any particular group of immigrants, but then later on in the space, it did shift to Black immigrants in particular and how they may be taking things away from Black Americans. And I would also like to add, while this Twitter space was going on, like there were Africans and Black Americans literally yelling slurs at one another through the phone. There were even white conservatives that literally came up there as well. Even the fresh and fit guy came up there as well. Like, I'm not too sure. Yes, the fresh and fit guy, of course, he was on the side of the Africans. You know, he's East African. I don't remember what the conservative guy was doing, but girl, they were in there and it was very, very messy. And there was a huge fallout from this space. And mind you guys, this was a space that went on for over 24 hours. So this is from like where I noticed a lot of this propaganda started to rise was from that day. Because if you were there, you would know that like Tariq Nasheed came in there. There was a lot going on. A lot of people came in there that day. And so from there, I started seeing a lot more Black American people referring to themselves as foundational Black American. And so I noticed that a lot of them were trying to distance themselves from Africa and talk about how, you know, they were already here and stuff like that. They were also native to the land of America, things of that nature. Which, mind you, that claim is getting so bad. I'm starting to see Native Americans have to come out and like refute that claim and say like, no, bro, like respectfully, we are the original natives. But I noticed this very strong push to separate and create a distinction between Black Americans who are descendants from slavery versus, you know, everybody else. Which I absolutely agree with the fact that we are very different, but we also, of course, have a lot of similarities, right? But I don't necessarily think making that distinction in a certain context is productive. Like making that distinction in a conversation about the betterment and the advancement of any Black people, period, regardless of where they're from in the diaspora, that's not a useful conversation because at the end of the day, we all have the same enemy. So it's like, what are we making that distinction for? Why are we making this separation? Again, all of it just feels very anti-African, and it just feels like, again, propaganda for more division, for more divide and conquer. So please, let's all respect one another. We all have our own culture, Black American people included, okay? And we all descend from the same place. All love. That's it.
You just engagement forming. Man, I was already turning crops over on this whole content form before I even mentioned something about y'all. You feel me? But gonna piss me off on Twitter. I'm talking about I'm ready to illustrate the reason why I'm a Hall of Fame college policy debater. I'm trying to have set speech times too. I don't want no yelling over nobody. When you talking, I ain't gonna speak over you. I ain't gonna speak to you when I'm talking. Ask for the same thing. You feel me? Which one of you FBA warriors want it, man? I'm talking about I got time. I'm a proud descendant of African slaves. I was born here in America, goddamn. My people raised the land here in America, but I do not agree with the ideology of FBA. You feel me? I think they are. As a matter of fact, my argument is FBA is white nationalism and blackface. You feel me? And my link argument to be able to make that is they pick up on shit like the Great Replacement theory that was manufactured by white supremacists saying the illegals is coming to replace us. How come y'all never got this beef towards the individuals that's giving the illegals, quote unquote, your job?
Y'all know how like Cubans think they're exceptional, like white people won't look at them like they look at all the other Latinos, and they think they have like this privilege that the rest of them don't have. I feel like foundational Black Americans are the Cubans of the Black community. I was reading this post about how Haitians are now being deported and how they're going to be targeted. And I'm looking at the comments and I see foundational Black Americans, people who are claiming they're foundational Black Americans, that they're good. There's nothing, they have nothing to worry about. And I just think like, you are such a dumb motherfucker because you look just like me. I'm not Haitian, by the way. But you just look like me. You look like the Haitian that's going to get deported. We look alike. You people
I
are gonna look at you and be like, oh,
really, I was so
he's not Haitian. He's a foundational Black American. No, they're gonna see your black ass and take your ass to a prison and then deport your dumb ass.
No one came to save us. Nobody sent a ship. No military came to help us. We've been on our own. So when you talk down on some of the dysfunctions that, a percentage of us may have, you don't even take in the context what we've been under for all this time, what we've been dealing with and how we've been fighting for us and for you guys on top of that. And y'all got a whole continent over there with all these minerals and gold and all that. So it's like, come on, we can't do the one-sided thing. Like, that's crazy. I mean, you got these hate spaces on Twitter space where people just come together, African folks and the Caribbeans all come together with this love fest for each other, but this hate fest on us with these weird talking points. And it just went under the radar for a long time without us really noticing. But it's like, damn, like now it goes the other way. But for a long time, this was unprovoked because we always show love to you guys, like how you going to just make whole spaces talking about our dysfunctions and parts of our society unprovoked for just years and years and years and talking about behind doors for years and years. And it's like now I understand why I'll see a lot of immigrants, women with white dudes, or see a lot of immigrant dudes just go out of their way to date white women and like talk crazy about black women. And I always wondered that, damn, what's up with all these weird dudes that's so anti-black women or so anti-black, these females so anti-black man. And that just brought it around full circle. Like a lot of the time, sometimes it's coons, but we call out our coons, you know what I'm saying? But like the Candace Owens, y'all don't call out y'all's. That's a problem. So I don't know. Like, I mean, you got the Rastas, they pro-black, but I can't really think of any other group of people. Oh, shout out to the Black British that hold it down. Even though sometimes there's a little weird energy coming from over there, trying to scapegoat our men over here. I heard talking points like that from some Nigerian ladies too, saying like we're abusive of our women. And, there's a little weird energy bubbling up. So come on, like every group of people is going to have a small segment of their people who have issues. But like at the end of the day, we've done phenomenal things under a very oppressive system. And we showed you guys love, and we show love to black folks all around the world. So let's just keep a positive energy. And those of you who are allies with us, man, I've seen y'all in different comment sections showing love, putting y'all flag, putting a fist up, shouting out the FBAs. And you're very genuine, and I appreciate that, man. It's much love to y'all, man. It goes both ways. And to the FBA family, I would say, just know that we do have some non-FBA black folks out there that rock with us, that are like-minded, that have our back, good people, good solid individuals. I know that. I've met some in person. I know some in person. But yeah, I mean, y'all got to start checking your own is what it comes down to. But we're going to feel like y'all ain't rocking with us. I've been going back and forth with a few people. There was this dude earlier who was like, because of my last video where I was saying how some FBAs hate on non-FBA black immigrants unprovoked. He's like, man, they hate us, bro. He's like, they hate us on the continent. So you got a lot of us thinking that y'all hate us over on the continent when I know that's not true. And then a lot of us now responding to these basically years of neglect probably have people on the continent thinking that we hate them, which is not true. We just don't like people who come here and try to sabotage us politically and hate on us. So we got to just really understand the nuance, educate ourselves, and not just be quick to be emotional and jump the gun, because the separation of black folks is what's been undermining all of our success for a long time now. And it's just much better for us to work together, because these white supremacists don't like either one of us, no matter how much they act like they like you or try to say y'all are so successful when you come here, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, their fear is genetic annihilation. And you're black, just like we're black. So if they was able to get us out the way, you are next. Trust me. We know these people very well. They can act friendly. They're not your friends. They got you chasing your tail, doing these little one-day boycotts that are correlated with the black boule, and we know their games. Just trust me. Like, knock it off with the nonsense. We got love for y'all. A lot of us still got love for y'all, but we got an eye on y'all when y'all get in political office, because there's a consistent sabotage coming from that direction.
So I just want to address this one thing about this argument with FBA and Pan-African. In 2024, can we cease this argument and this conversation? Because those agents are dropping in and they're trying to continue that divisiveness. Instead, remember that there are many roles in the art of war, okay? And what you have to do is celebrate those that want to go. Mwah, I love you. Celebrate those that want to stay. Mwah, I love you. Because the argument about us being here, that we were here in Turtle Island and all that, we were everywhere. Everywhere that you dig up, we were already there, bro. So you understand what I'm saying? So this argument is ridiculous. What we need to do is remember, united we stand, divided we fall. Somebody goes, then you got an import-export business. You got a partner on the ground, okay? FBA, I love you. Pan-African, I love you. I'm rooting for all of us, okay?
Yeah, first of all, I want to preface this video with saying, yeah, I'm a black American, and I'm an African American. So all the xenophobic comments trying to tell me that I ain't black American, shit, y'all can leave them, but I don't really care. It don't affect me, you dig? And also trying to tell me I ain't FBA. I don't want to be FBA. You guys are a cult, and I'm about to get on y'all right now. Hey, look, let's not get this confused, because y'all try to use this as an argument. The sun dodging, crunching, munching European, no, I don't like him. Straight up out the gate. Straight up, he ain't playing no game with him. He know I don't like him. But you niggas, they like to destroy and try to talk down on my ancestors' history, who's supposed to be your ancestors' history. Yeah, I got a problem with you niggas. Straight up. What the fuck? And y'all gotta know that. The sun dodging, crunching, munch, he know I don't like him. Straight the fuck up. He know I don't like him. Y'all niggas, I don't like y'all niggas. Y'all my family, but I don't like y'all niggas. Because y'all very distasteful and disrespectful. You have the nerve to try to come with division while trying to pass out some form of sick inside of only America black unity. Oh, I'm only fucking, bro. And on top of that, FBA and its twin, which they align themselves with, named ADOS, are hate occult groups who spread division amongst the black community. Not only that, they marginalize black people amongst their own community. Not only that, ADOS has aligned itself with YT sun dodging supremacists. Not only that, ADOS and FBA have the nerve to co-opt the movements and the works that our ancestors did, and then try to make it fit their own narrative, acting as if they don't understand it. Marginalizing the black community inside of America, who's already a marginalized community, isn't going to help but going to make it worse. And then you want to sit here and fight for reparations. And specifically, we talking about ADOS, you want to fight for reparations, and you want people to have these here documents, like everybody's supposed to be able to produce a document, man. And then on top of that, now hold on. On top of that, because FBA got the want and got the nerve to try to sit here and tell everybody they not African, and they go off their genealogy and tell everybody to read these fucking documents. And then when you go off the DNA, they say that's YT man science, sun dodger science, and but who documented your genealogy? Because all y'all don't got your great grandparents and birth certificate. And then where these birth certificates come from? Huh? Where these pass and wage certificates come from? Where did these bills of sale come from? Huh? Any of the things that you can use to point out somebody with genealogy, you understand that they have to use the sun dodging, man. You understand they have to use the sun dodging system of government to document themselves, right? So to turn around and try to tell somebody who uses their DNA, which comes from their blood, that this is YT man science and that this is not real, but you want to use.
Can we have a conversation about FBAs? Because at the end of the day, y'all are actual walking contradictions. Y'all are upholding another man's views and values on other black people who aren't American for what? And then y'all go on and be like, oh, well, they disrespect us and da 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 da. We know this, but y'all really don't. You want to know how we know y'all really don't? Because everything is based offline. Y'all don't have experiences on your own to actually take from. Now, me, I do. I've actually got discriminated against towards Caribbeans and Nigerians before. Do I hold that against them? No, because I've met so many more that outweighs them. That's what I'm saying. Y'all don't actually have these experiences for real. Y'all hear it, y'all see it online, and y'all automatically associate it with yourself. And then y'all go on these little tangents, weird prejudices, tangents, not realizing that you are upholding white supremacy. If you don't want to uphold white supremacy, you cannot have any type of hatred or prejudices against any other race. Because at the end of the day, you'll be upholding white supremacy. So if you are FBA and you claim to be a FBA, you uphold white supremacy. You do. You uphold it society wise because you do it towards Caribbean and African people. You uphold it very sexist wise because a lot of FBAs don't actually like to hear black women speak. Can we actually talk about that? How a lot of FBAs are actually men, and how the men who don't like to hear what we have to say, and the FBA women who are out there, they don't want to hear it either because they have internalized misogyny. At the end of the day, y'all holding bits and pieces of standards that are all lumped up into white supremacy. All of it. You cannot battle white supremacy and then uphold it in the same sentence. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't. You cannot say that you are fighting white supremacy while you are calling Caribbean and African people tethers or teethers or whatever the fuck this shit means. Whatever the fuck it is. It doesn't solve anything. It doesn't help the black community either. And what I also noticed with a lot of FBAs, y'all don't do shit for the black community. Y'all have all this opinion and all this talk, but with nothing to back it up with. Just hatred. Just straight plain hatred. Y'all are following another 50-year-old man's views. He's not even a politician. He has nothing behind him that is worthy of this follow besides being an internet personality. Y'all are listening to a person who do this shit for clout. Y'all are the weakest link of black people because y'all are so easily influenced. So easily influenced. You're literally no better than the Caribbean African people who do hold prejudices against black Americans. You're no better. You cannot call out those people by doing the same thing to those people. Like y'all walking literal like hypocrites. Y'all don't even notice it. It's how hypocritical y'all really are.
Oh my goodness. I woke up this morning to these comments. Listen, I'm going to go on record and apologize to my black Americans because these comments is y'all letting me have it, and also inform me that Haitians were a part of the Afro-Latin community. So I want to go on record to apologize to you guys because I know right now it's black Americans versus everybody. And unfortunately, the hate that they've taught is now that we're firing back. Now we're hateful. It is never my intent to get on this internet and spew hateful rhetoric, but it's to inform and to bring awareness, and also in hopes to get black Americans to formate and figure out that it's not about us being against each other. Okay, if the African community doesn't care for us, if the Haitian communities don't care for us, if the Mexican communities don't care for us, then we need to care for one another. And how we care for one another is we have thoughtful, provoking conversations that doesn't turn into venomous insults. Because see, what you can never do is insult me, because if you are insignificant to my world, pretty much your comments don't matter. Okay. And for the ones that are saying They don't like us. We know that they don't like us. But now, at the same token, they cannot like us, but they do have the same skin hue as us. So when I say these ice raids weren't just pertaining to, non-caucus people, I mean, it's for anyone that is not of white descent. So it doesn't matter. They can't differentiate again. And also, let's correct this for y'all that want to keep talking about, oh, we were slaves. No, my ancestors were enslaved. They were kings and queens and creators. And we're not going to keep going down the list of all that we've contributed. We don't have to. We are a power culture. That's why everyone has something to say. That's why we are so studied. That's why we are so under a magnifying glass of every other culture that comes to benefit off of the backs of the civil rights movement and the natural act, the immigration act, that you guys come to America and take on the white supremacist attitude. It's just a form of jealousy and hate. You're no better than a white supremacist if you could look to your right and look to your left and see someone that is not white and think that you're better than them.
The war between African Americans and other black people, it has to stop. I'm tired of it. It's making my head hurt. Like, why are we going against each other? We're doing exactly what the CIA wants us to do. This is exactly what they want us to do. What is the purpose? What's the point of trying to say that somebody is cosplaying as an African American? Who cares? We are all black. African American culture is not just from foundationally black Americans. Hip hop. The founding fathers of hip hop are all Caribbean. All Caribbean. The founding fathers. So don't get in my comments trying to say that they created rap. The founding fathers. Y'all like to just, But there's no point in doing all this back and forth and trying to go against each other. It's stupid. I'm convinced that all of you guys that do the arguing are straight bots and are white people behind the pages, because it's not making no sense to me. I've never seen this much disagreements and conflict between black people before in my life. The same thing with the mixed conversation, and you guys trying to take mixed people out the equation and saying that they're not black. Like, it's really starting to get on my nerves. So the only black people is African American people. Those are the only ones that matter. People that all their history is from from America. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but Google is free. And again, the average African American has 24% at least European in them alone. So why are we going to bash or going to war against all these other people? It's stupid. And I'm not putting the blame solely on African Americans, but it's really starting to give me a headache. I don't want to hear about it no more. It's making me want to get off TikTok for real. Because it's stupid and it's dumb. We're all the same. We're all the same, especially Caribbeans, because we come from the same makeup. European, Native, and African. We all come from the same makeup. So why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? What's the purpose? It's so stupid. Just stop. We invite all cultures. It's not that deep, bro. It's not. Especially because a lot of us have Caribbean in us. A lot. Unless you are literally from the South, like the Southeast, that's the only way I can see you not having no Caribbean in you. And even then, you got Florida, who has a whole big variety of Caribbeans. So I don't know. It just sounds crazy to me. Like, the majority of us have Caribbean in us, so it's like, what's the purpose of you even doing all that? So many talented Black athletes, singers, rappers, entertainment, everybody. So many of them have Caribbean in them. So you gonna discredit them too? Because once we start trickling down, we're not gonna have nobody. I'm just saying.
There's starting to be a lot of discourse between African Americans coming to South Africa or Africa, and how a lot of them feel. Some of them feel, right? At this stage, right? We know that they are pretendians, right? They're not interested in Africa, right? We have the Tariq Nasheed group. I don't know. I think they call themselves FBA, to distinguish themselves. Really, they're serious about distinguishing themselves from everybody else that is there, right? So we know that those guys are not interested, right? But we also know that there's tons and tons of Pan-Africanist African Americans. There's tons of African Americans who love Africa or are moving to Africa and doing all of that. So this video is not for you guys, right? Love you guys. Okay, I want to talk about the African Americans that like to get on here and act like they've done something for Africa to a point where they think that us saying that we are welcoming them back to Africa, that we are begging for them, that we want money from them, that we want to use them, we want to abuse them. Listen, you don't have to come to Africa. Okay? I want to tell you right now, you do not have to stop getting online and fighting about not wanting to come to Africa. Look at all these African American people that have helped Africans. Africans have done nothing for African Americans. First of all those billionaires you mentioned, those are tax write-offs. Did you know how your country works? Did you think that in America there are billionaires who give stuff away for free and not get a tax write-off? You think that's coming from the love? And I'm not saying those people don't love. I'm just saying everything that America gives to Africa has a tax write-off. You know that. So I'm not sure who you think is supposed to be jumping up and down because Jay-Z or Oprah built a school. Because Africans are building schools. We come to America to go back to Africa to build things. We are just not popular. Okay? They don't write about us. They don't talk about us. We are not important. The only people that are important are Oprahs and them when they do things for Africa. So I'm not sure why you think it's a flex. Sure billions. Okay? Because it's really sick, right? And then you have the passport holders all the way up in Kenya talking crazy, talking about they are high value men and that African Kenyan women need to jump up and down because they have six packs and they have bank accounts. Because to them, that's the definition of high value. That's not what African women are looking for. But I can't get in everybody's relationship. I don't care what people are doing, right? But I really need this to stop. This nonsense of acting like you don't want to come to Africa. We don't want you either if you don't want to come here. It is as simple as that. You don't like us, we don't like you too. Guess what? We like the people who like us. How is that a hard thing for you to grasp? We love the African Americans who love us. They know who they are. We know where they are. They know where we are. We are meeting, we are talking, we are communicating, we are planning, we are building, we are doing things. But it's always these loud African Americans who get on here and they act like somebody from Africa is acting like they're busy needing them to come. Live your life, bro, sis. Live the way you want to live. We don't care. All we know is that this wheel is turning, whether you like it or not, whether you agree or whether you do not agree. Let me give you a very good example. Why are there these African Americans who don't want to be associated with Africa? Why, you think being American is going to save you forever? Are there any white people in America who not only are die-hard Americans, do they come to you and be like, oh, I'm half Irish, oh, but I can stand those Irish people? It's the opposite. Every white American who knows they're connected to whatever those European countries, they throw it in your face. You haven't figured out the power of you being American and being proudly understanding and loving Africa. You don't have to come to Africa. You don't have to visit, but cut that out. Because this division that you think is doing, it's harming you. It's hurting you. This is not going to hurt us Africans. Because if African Americans do not want to come to Africa, that's fine. We have Haitians, we have Jamaicans, we have Black people all over the globe. If it was economy and we want to use you for economy, we don't just need you to build our economy. We have half of the African Americans who love us and we love them because I'm in America right now paying taxes, living and doing what I'm supposed to do while I'm here. Why do you have a problem understanding that you could go to another country? You understand to go to Mexico? Huh? You understand you can move to Brazil, but just always lie and being anti-African. Cut that out. Honestly, if you're not interested in Africa anything, just keep that out of your conversations, okay? We don't want you either, just as much as you don't. We know who likes us, and we vibe with people like us. Now go.
No lies were told, because when you use the same anti-black slurs, stereotypes, and superiority complexes that were used against you just to tear down other black people, you're not defending culture. You're imitating the very system that tried to erase all of us. I understand you wanting to be separate, but wanting to sound like massa while you're doing it, that's something else.
While I'm up here getting my truck fixed, right? And his brother started talking to me about finance, right? I'm telling him my dreams. He telling me his dreams. He telling me to how the whole life insurance game works, right? So I'm like, cool, he's solid. Something is off about him, but I'm just like, cool. So then he trying to put me onto a video, right? You know what the video is? It's a motherfucking African American talking shit about Africans. See, that's that FBA shit. That's that Tariq Nasheed shit, man. Y'all motherfuckers too old to be playing divide and conquer against your goddamn self, man. And you got all these Caucasus Mountain people. You got all these Texans. You got all these Indians. You got all these Asians that hate you. Y'all want to focus on one fucking African that bumped into you or looked at you crazy. Y'all mad fucking weird. That's that divide and conquer shit, man. Y'all focus on the wrong goal. Trump is about to be in fucking office. Y'all worried about some fucking Africans. Y'all the silliest motherfuckers I ever met in my life, man. Fucking silly as shit, bro. Like, black people's priority thing is like whack as fuck, man. That shit backwards. Y'all real fucking weird, and y'all shouldn't be around no kids, man.
I've been getting a lot of comments like this under my video, and I just want to let everybody know what an FBA is. FBA stands for Foundational Black Americans. FBAs are a fringe group of Black Americans / African Americans who are highly xenophobic, and their ideology is rooted in American exceptionalism, American nationalism, and hyper-xenophobia. They want to detach themselves from their African identity and be founded in the American settler colonies' ideal of what it means to be American. FBAs are connected to and related to the ADOS movement, which was founded in the 90s / 2000s. You will see a lot of similarities between the groups. A lot of these groups preach reparations, Black capitalism, American exceptionalism, homophobia, transphobia, etc., and now, since the Trump era, anti-immigration. FBAs were founded by a man named Tariq Nasheed in the 2000s. Tariq Nasheed is a right-wing grifter. Tariq Nasheed is his own case for a whole nother video. But FBAs are a group in which if you do not perform African Americanness or Blackness in their way, they call you a tether, which in simple terms means that you're an imposter. You're pretending to be African American and you're not. This is also one of the telltale signs that if you're dealing with the FBA, if they keep using the word tether, or they just come out and say they're FBA. Now, FBAs are not representative of all African Americans. They're relatively an internet thing, but you do have some FBAs in real life. So all in all, FBAs are just a loud minority on the internet who do not know what they are and what they should be doing in life.
On a more serious note, everything we said was going to happen has happened. We said they was going to take away Roe versus Wade. They took it away. We said this man was going to get elected again. He got elected again. We said they was trying to implement Project 2025. They're implementing it. We said that there would be Medicaid cuts. There have been Medicaid cuts. We said that funding at universities was going to be in jeopardy. Funding is drying up, disappearing.
All right, she shouldn't be in there.
Read first if you need to. You know what I'm saying? But read a book for sure. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, so first things first, I just got done talking to my mother so I could go ahead and have the right information to feed you some facts about myself and my family's history. But first things first, I was born and raised in the southern state of Tennessee. My great-great-grandfather served in World War I, which is my mother's great-grandfather. And my great-grandfather served in World War II, which is my mother's grandfather. My family's been here for generations, so don't question if I'm black or if I have the right to speak on what's happening to our people right now and what's happening around the world. I, as a black American individual, do not support the FBA ideology because I believe it divides us. Malcolm X and the Black Panther Party believed in global black unity, and that's not what the FBA is about. They wanted black people around the world to come together and not turn against each other. They didn't just fight for black people in America, they fought for oppressed people everywhere around the globe because they knew who the real enemy was, and it's the system. Capitalism and imperialism. Some of the things that I hear from FBA sounds just exactly like what white supremacists say. Stuff like they're replacing us or they're stealing from us. It's the same fear and hate that the far right pushes. It's just coming from a black mouth, which is shameful. That's why I can't bring myself together to support the FBA ideology, man. If we're serious about defeating white supremacy, then we can't fight each other. We need to unite around the globe, unite with people of color around the globe, especially right here at home. Black, brown, indigenous, Asian, we've all been targeted by the same system. Malcolm knew that, the Panthers knew that, Louis Farrakhan knows that, and we all deep down know it too. Stop the division.
I promise I cannot stand FBAs. I cannot stand you folks that stand and declare, oh, I'm a foundational black American. Fool, you are African just like me. You're African just like every black person out here. And I know some of us were natives, and your ass ain't though. None of the people in your family is native, okay? I don't give a shit what pictures you pop up with and da-da-da. Your granny ain't a native, okay? She might have slept with a native. She might have had some native in her that way, but you're not a native, okay? You are an African. Your roots began in Africa. I don't give a shit what type of convoluted conversation y'all sitting y'all monkey ass around having. You are an African, like it or not, fool. Y'all, I could have got way more than this because there's a lot of them out there on TikTok. I don't know if any of you have noticed, but yeah. So, I mean, these folks, it just goes to show you how many people in our community don't know what the separation is all about. You know, it's like that saying, being part of the world, but not of the world. And the vast majority are definitely part of the world. And you can see it. They're definitely part of the world. And these are the ones that are going to cry when this place is over. You know? So, y'all, thank you for being here. I've had a very, very long day. It's been long. And I've been, keeping up with the pace of the orders coming in. And, I'm kind of exhausted. But I wanted to do this live stream so you can see, that these videos do exist out there on TikTok. And some of them go back all through 2023. You can see them. But y'all, please enjoy your Shabbat. If you don't do Shabbat, enjoy your weekend. And we'll definitely come back again on a whole different topic. Shabbat Shalom, family.